Hello, and welcome to the very last episode of Sarah Seam's podcast Vlogmas for this year. My name's Sarah. I'm coming to you from Columbus, Ohio, where I live with my partner Troy and our cats Alex, Moo, and Elsie. This has been my Vlogmas, where I've brought you along for the entire month of December on all my crafty adventures and holiday shenanigans. And as I said, this is going to be the last episode. So this video is going to cover December 29th through 31st. So I'm really excited to take you along on New Year's Eve. It should be a really fun day. But that being said, today and tomorrow are going to be a little more chill, probably going to keep the check-ins a little bit shorter. So I just wanted to hop on real quick and show you a couple of little updates. And that's probably going to be it for today. So this morning we went and had breakfast at a great local restaurant called Skillet. It's like a farm to table place. I of course totally forgot to take any videos of the food, but I did get a little video of my sister's dirty chai that was really pretty with like the whipped cream and the cinnamon. But yeah, then we just came home and I edited my last video and I've just been doing some spinning and knitting. Troy's been reading and taking a nap. And we're getting ready to do some fun chores, you know, laundry, decluttering our kitchen. We'll probably watch a movie later and take it easy. So let me show you what I have been working on. I have a finished sock, a half-finished object, if you will. So here it is, and let me tell you about it and then tell you how I goofed on this. So this is a real true shorty. It just barely has like 6 rows after the heel and then 7 rows of ribbing. So it is a real true shorty. These are probably the shortest socks I've ever knit, but they are nice, like a real like footy kind of sock, which in some situations that's what you need. The yarn is Good Luck Babe on the twisty sock base from the Nomadic Knitter. Really pretty self-striping colorway. I did an afterthought heel with the self-striping yarn. So yeah, I think they turned out really, really fun. Now let me tell you how I goofed. So I only got a 50-gram ball of this yarn. So I knew that these were gonna be shorties. And when I got the yarn, I weighed it and I actually had about 54 grams. So I made a note for myself, like, here's how much you can knit before you need to stop and do the heel in order to have enough for both socks. And then, you know, I knit them toe up, so I was just knitting my little heart away. I got to the row to put in the marker for the afterthought heel, and then when I went to figure out how much more I needed to knit for the leg, I misread my own notes and I thought I needed to knit until I only had 21 grams left of yarn. So that's what I did. And of course knit like 4 inches of the leg before I realized that's not right. That's more than half of the yarn, duh. And also these were supposed to be shorties and this is like a full length sock. So by the time I realized that instead of knitting until I had 21 grams left, I was supposed to only knit 21 grams, meaning I had like 33 grams left or whatever it was. I had already knit like the entire leg of the sock. So I had to rip out a ton of knitting and basically, I mean, I was pretty much done with that version. So I had to rip out like 4 or 5 inches of leg and re-knit this little tiny cuff. So yeah, I ripped all that out last night and I was kind of like, I need a break. And then today I came back to them and finished the first one. So I do think they're super cute. My bind off is a little tight. I just did a regular bind off, which I figured would be okay since they're shorties, but it's a little hard getting it over my ankle. So I'll probably do Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off on the next one. And then if I have enough yarn left over, I might come back and redo the bind off on this one. But I think they look really cute. This is what I was expecting to be knitting, so I don't know why my brain just told me to knit a regular sock, but it's okay. I got there in the end. And now that this one is done, it'll be much easier to knit the second one because I know exactly how much I can use. And it did work out that I used like just a little bit more than half of the yarn for this one, so I should have just enough to make the other one. They're definitely not going to be matching as far as like the stripe placement or anything. In a perfect world, I would have been a little bit more picky about where I started my heel because I ended up with this kind of weird single stripe, but since the yarn is pretty limited, I just had to use whatever was next up, and I still think that they look really cute. So half finished object. And I'm keeping this project in my gorgeous Line Study Textiles bag. And I also finished the first bobbin of my spin. So I can't believe how quickly this is going. Here it is. I'll try and show it without blowing it out. So I received a bag of Hedgehog Fibers Lucky Dip fiber for Christmas, and it's all these really pretty, like mostly cream with like some bright colors and like neon yellow, but some softer colors as well. And it's, I think, gonna end up being kind of like a pastel dream, like creams and like pinks and yellows and purples. And yeah, I don't normally knit with a lot of yellow, but I think it's gonna be really pretty in this. And yeah, I finished the first bobbin. So this is about 75 grams of fiber. So I'll have 2 more of these and then ply. It did occur to me that I'm gonna have to buy a Lazy Kate to ply with. If anyone has any like hacks for how you ply big bobbins like this at home, please let me know, because what I've been doing, and this is so janky, is for my little nano bobbins, which are tiny, I use my serger. So I just turn it around and take the thread off and use those like cone holders as a Lazy Kate, which has worked really well, but these are too big to do that with. So probably gonna have to buy a Lazy Kate, which is fine, not mad about that at all. But I know I'm gonna wanna apply these like as soon as they're done. So might need to purchase that soon unless someone has a great hack. That's it as far as crafty updates. I, at some point today or tomorrow, would like to cast on my second Harlow hat, the 2-color version. If you saw the last episode, you would have seen I knit the Harlow hat, the worsted version, in like 2 days, and I would like to knit another version using some of the leftover yarn from that. I'll probably work on my stick season jacket a bit, and then I don't know, who knows what we'll get into. So I'll bring you along for the rest of the day, and I will check back in with you tomorrow. Hello, it is Monday, December 30th. It's about 3:30 p.m. and I am here to check in. So I'm having a pretty quiet day to myself at home today. Troy went back to the office today, but I still have today and tomorrow and Wednesday off. I'll be going back to work on Thursday, but I'll be working from home. So luckily I'm not going back to the office until next Monday. So still get like about a week at home, which I'm really looking forward to. I have been running around today, got up, took a shower, got ready, got all prepped, and I just finished recording my Everything I Knit in 2024 video, which is such a beast to record. Like, I spent most of the morning like getting everything ready for that. But it's always one of the most satisfying videos to record, just to like see everything all together. So that should be coming out after the last Vlogmas video, probably on New Year's Day. I think I'm gonna go ahead and start editing it after this. So that's exciting. I did get a little bit of knitting time in this morning. I added 6 rows to my stick season cardigan, stick season jacket, sorry, it's cardigan, but it's pretty heavy, so it's gonna feel like a jacket. I think, like I said yesterday, I'm just gonna try and add 5 or 6 rows a day, finish the body in like a week or so, hopefully, and just kind of take it easy because the piece fleece is a little hard on the hands. And I was knitting on my hat. So yesterday I cast on my second Harlow hat, the worsted version, and this time I'm doing a 2-color version. So I'm using my leftover hand spun and just some white Barocco Lanas that I had in stash. And here's how far I got. It's looking really fun. So this is the outside. Excuse me. And then it's reversible. So this is what the other side will look like, which I actually think I might like that side better. We'll see. But yeah, I did the thing, you guys. I did the 2-color tubular cast on. I do not love a tubular cast on, but I really wanted to do it for this because I wanted this version to be reversible. And as you can see, the 2-color cast on makes it so that either side has a really clean finish where the ribbing just kind of, the brioche just kind of continues right into the edge. So I think it was worth it. I think it looks really good, but I did have to try 3 times to get it right. I used Andrea Mallory's tutorial and I'm glad I did it, but man, a tubular cast on is not a chill way to start your project, in my opinion, but it looks so good. One other change I'm making for this one, aside from doing the 2-color version and doing the tubular cast on, is that I went down a needle size. So I gave the other pink one that I finished to my sister to try on, and she said it was great. If anything, she thought it could be a little bit tighter. So I decided instead of dropping down a whole size in the hat, I just went down a needle size. So hopefully that'll help bring it in just a little bit. I'm also going to knit this one an inch longer than the first one, just because when my sister put it on, she had a nice brim, but it was like totally fitted to the back of her head. And I think I would like a little bit of space in this one. So I'm just going to add 1 more inch in the brim and knit it to 6 inches instead of 5 like I did on the other one. And that is a pattern modification. It does not have a brim in the original pattern, but yeah, I'm loving knitting the second one just as much as the first one. I just think it's so cool how it's reversible. And like I said, I really love this like white side actually. So keep chugging away on it. And then I told my sister she can pick whichever one she prefers and I'll just keep the other one. So that's the knitting I've done today. Probably keep working on that. Might work on a sock, might start my next bobbin of my spin. I don't know what I'm gonna get up to later today, but I'll take you along with me. I'm gonna go make some food. I slept until like 9, which is kind of unusual for me, and then ate like a pretty late breakfast. So now my schedule's all thrown off. I need to eat like a late lunch, early dinner kind of situation. Probably start editing my video and then yeah, have a chill evening. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I'm really excited to take you along on that day with me. We're gonna go get my mom her first ever tattoo, and then we're gonna go to our friend's party. So should be a good time. Gotta figure out what I'm gonna wear. But yeah, well, this will probably be the last check-in for the day. Oh, I almost forgot. I got my new light. Hopefully that's not too bright there at the top, but yeah, I got this really cool like multicolor light for Christmas. So like right here you can see you can put different films in it. So there's like blue and pink and just kind of like a cool ambient light. Maybe I can adjust this to show you. Yeah, it makes like all different colors. So it's kind of fun. Anyway, that's all for today. Keeping it pretty short for these last couple of days here. And then probably a little bit of a longer part tomorrow for New Year's Eve. So I will bring you with me for the rest of the day. Should be chill, and then we'll be out and about and having a fun day tomorrow. Bye. Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 31st. It's the last day of Vlogmas. Can't believe it's over already. That's the month went by so fast, but it's about 11:30 here. It's a pretty rainy day, but I've had a pretty chill morning and I'm looking forward to a fun rest of the day. So thought I would pop on for the last check-in. Sad. Show you my knitting projects. We'll do the Q&A finally on the last day. And then I'll let you know what you can expect to see for the rest of the day. So yeah, I got some good knitting done. I added my 6 rows onto my stick season cardigan, and I just finished a ball of yarn, so it's at a good place to show you right now. So yeah, I've got about 4 inches on the body done, and doing 1 inch a day is like the perfect amount right now. The instruction says to knit the body to 9 inches, I think, before starting the ribbing, so I'll probably knit to 8 inches and then try it on and see if I want to add that extra inch or not. Usually I need to crop things a little bit more than even the cropped instruction. And I think it has like 1.5 inches or 2 inches of ribbing. But I do want this to be a little bit more of like a cropped hip length, not necessarily like waist length or anything. So, but yeah, I'm loving how this piece fleece is knitting up. I think the half texture was definitely the way to go. It's subtle, but I think it just adds that little bit of interest, and I am really enjoying it so far. I have a lot of projects that are knit flat right now or ribbing, so I feel like all of my projects have purling, and it's kind of nice to just do a few rows on each of those at a time. I made a ton of progress on my second Harlow hat last night. Here's where I got to. So this is the 2-color version of the worsted weight hat. I did the 2-color tubular cast on. Who does she think she is? And yeah, I finished the brim section. So I knit that double length because I want to have a folded brim. And here's what the wrong side looks like. So it's gonna look really cool when the brim is folded, that they're like inverse, and it's reversible. That's the benefit of doing the 2-color cast on. So if I flip this inside out, you could also wear it this way with the brim folded up like that. So I think it looks really cool either way. Excited to keep working on this one. At this point, I think I need to knit like 4 more inches, and then I'll do the crown decreases. So not too much more to do. Oh, now I've got my yarns going through the hat. I'll fix that later. So yeah, this one, you know, I knit the first one in like 2 days. This one is probably going to be like more of a week-long project, but still really quick and fun. I think it looks very cool. This pink yarn does not want to show up on camera. It looks like fluorescent. It's kind of crazy, but I think it looks really fun. I would say I think I prefer the 2-color version to the 1-color version. I mean, obviously you just get more credit for the brioche in the 2-color version, and the reversibility is very cool. I can definitely see myself knitting more of these, especially with hand spun. It's just like super fun to knit. And then last night I also put in a few rows on the, not Hannah, Harper cardigan, I think it is, that I'm knitting for my friend's son. Just a little baby cardigan. This one also knit flat, so I'm just knitting the body right now. It has inset pockets on the front, which I've never done before, so I'm excited to try that technique on this little kids project. So I need to knit like, I don't know how many more rows, like 7 more rows, and then I'll be needing to add the pockets. Just a little tiny raglan cardigan. So that's all the knitting I did yesterday. All right, shall we do the Q&A? The long promised Q&A. I just have 3 questions, but they're really fun. So let's jump into that. The first one was, do you have any crafty tattoo ideas? And I do actually have a crafty tattoo that I got this year. Let me see if I can show you. So this one here, I don't know if it'll focus. It says knit, purl, repeat. So I have a text tattoo on this arm, and I really wanted to get one in the same location on the other arm, and ultimately settled on knit, purl, repeat. It's in my own handwriting, and I just love that it kind of like, it shows that like rhythm of knitting to me, which is what I love so much. So knit, purl, repeat. Just a little reminder, a very subtle crafty tattoo, but I do have ideas for others. So the one I'm leaning towards the most right now, there's a local tattoo artist that I actually went to college with, and my first couple of tattoos were done by her, who does really great like hand tattoos. And I'm toying with the idea of getting hands with like flowers and craft supplies, like maybe on the back of each arm. That one, oh, sorry, my phone's going off. One would have like a knitting needle, and maybe one would have like yarn or like something. I don't know. I would want her to design them, but something again subtle that's more about like the hands than like, I think the knitting needles and all of that would be like more subtle in the design, but it's more about the hands, because like in my mind, your hands are your primary tool when you're making. You know, we use all these other instruments, but it's really your hands that are making the art. So I love that idea. And then I think a classic one that a lot of people get are the little sewing scissors, like the little bird snips, and I love that too. So yeah, I mean, there's so many cool things that you do. I would love to know if any of you have crafty tattoos, and if you do, please tell us about them in the box, in the comment below. I think people would love to hear about your crafty tattoos as well. Okay, I'll save the most fun one for last. So another question was, who are your favorite knitting and sewing vloggers? So I feel like I don't follow that many like vloggers, but the first one that comes to mind is Laura Penrose. I mean, she's hugely popular, but I have enjoyed her vlogs all year. She tends to do like a week of vlogs each season. At least this year, that's what she did. Like she did a week of spring vlogs and then summer and fall. And obviously she does Vlogmas, but I mean, I think she's so popular because of how emotionally available she is, and like she talks about her struggles, and I think it's very relatable, and also it's just fun to see into her life. So I mean, she's a great one. One of my other favorites is Mackenzie of M to the Third. She does a lot of really great vlogs, and I really enjoy her content as well. She's based in Portland, Oregon. She has kind of a funky style and makes a lot of like colorful, interesting stuff. I feel like we have similar taste in patterns, and I just really enjoy her content. Finished Knitting Stories, Yana, I love her. Vlogmas specifically, she doesn't do a ton of other vlogs, but I really enjoy hers. And then another maker I really like, who doesn't do a lot of vlogs, but I don't know if she's quite as big, is Maker B. I love her content. She also makes like crazy fun patterns and has like a little bit more of an eclectic taste. So those are some of my favorites. Obviously I follow like a lot of the bigger ones like Nitty Natty, you know, all of those kinds of people, but these are definitely my favorites when like vlogging or like a different type of podcast kind of comes to mind. Okay, and now for my favorite question. This one really made me laugh. F, marry, kill, sewing, knitting, and spinning. So I have to choose. I try not to swear on the podcast, so I'm just gonna say F. Marry or kill, sewing, knitting, and spinning. This is very hard for me. I love them all. In some ways it was hard because I love them all, but in some ways it was easy. Like I immediately knew what my answer was. So I'm going to F, spinning, because I just started seeing her this year and I think we're having a bit of a love affair. I'm going to marry knitting because I knit every day. If I have a day without knitting, I'm sad and I want it to be in my life forever. That's my companion. And I'm gonna kill sewing, which is sad, but I've been sewing the longest out of any of the crafts. And while I do love it, it has become more of like a means to an end for me at this point, as opposed to something that really brings me a lot of joy. When I'm sewing, I do enjoy it, but I feel like it's a little bit more of a like, oh, I want that thing, let me sew it, versus like, I want to sew, if that makes sense. So yeah, F, spinning, marry knitting, and kill sewing. I would love to hear your answers as well for whatever crafts you do. I thought that was a fun question. So that's it, just a fun little Q&A. Thank you for submitting your questions, and please let me know below if you have crafty tattoo ideas and what would you F, marry, or kill, sewing, knitting, or spinning. Also, your favorite vloggers. I would love to discover more. So yeah, if you have answers to any of those questions, please share in the comments. And with that, let me tell you what the plan for the rest of the day is, and then I'll bring you along, and that's gonna be it for Vlogmas and for the year. So, okay, it is about 11:30 now. At 1 p.m. my mom's getting her first tattoo, so I'm gonna eat some lunch. Troy brought me some ramen home from this restaurant he went to last night, so I have some ramen for lunch. I'm gonna go meet her. I'll probably get a coffee, go meet her, hang out with her while she gets her first tattoo. She's getting a cute little bike, which she loves, like is an avid biker and like a biking advocate. It's like a huge part of her life for the past like decade almost. So I'm excited for her. We're gonna do that. Then I'm gonna come home. Troy and I are gonna do a little bit of cooking. We're gonna make a little appetizer to take to the party tonight. And then we're going to the big New Year's Eve party. So our friends host this party every year, and it's something I look forward to all year. It's so fun. Just everybody gets together, we party, we hang out, and then at midnight, my friend has a collection of vintage train horns that were passed down to him by his grandfather. And you hook them up to like an air compressor basically. And at midnight, we all go outside and we set off the train horns. And it is so loud, like I definitely have to wear ear protection, but it is such a like raucous, like joyous way to bring in the new year. So I'm gonna try and capture that for all of you. I will try and get the train horn sound in the video at like a very low level so you can hear it, but it doesn't like hurt your ears. But it's just a fun kind of wonky tradition, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'll bring you along for all of that. Yeah, thank you so much for watching Vlogmas this year and for all of your comments. It's been so lovely chatting with all of you. I'm really glad I kept it going to the end of the year so I could share like today's festivities with you as well. And it just feels like a good way to close out the year, like document the whole month. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm really so grateful to each and every one of you for being here. And I'm looking forward to 2025. I have some ideas for how I might switch things up a bit so I can show up more regularly here, but maybe in a slightly different way. And my Everything I Knit in 2024 video, so this video will be coming out on New Year's Day. Happy New Year. And my Everything I Knit in 2024 video will also be coming out on New Year's Day. So if you're interested in that video as well, please feel free to check it out. I can try and link it up here. But yeah, thank you so much. Just thank you for everything, for being here. I hope you all had a wonderful holiday and you have a happy new year. And yeah, let's keep crafting in 2025, and I will see you then. Bye.